when we look at the actions in Islam, scholars have divided the actions in Islam in two broad categories. And these two categories are known as ibadat and muamalat. Ibadat, or what is commonly translated as acts of worship, these are the things and action that refers to anything really that is done sincerely and directly solely to Allah, such as our prayer, fasting and Hajj. Such acts of worship rely on proof within the sources of Islam for their endorsement and conduct. So if we are to do any acts of worship, we are looking for the evidence in order to establish that act of worship. And whenever we bring a practice or opinion or way of doing certain things when it comes to these acts, we look for the evidence. So for example, we cannot just increase our prayer which has 4 units to 5 units and attribute that to our intention and that we want to do more and so on. So this is very well known principle in usul fiqh, that when it comes to ibadat, all of the acts are by their default prohibited unless there is a specific proof and a text to make them allowed. So this is ibadat that is very prescriptive. On the other hand, when we talk about muamalat or actions between people, these refer to any type of action between the people. These refer to how people interact with each other in their day-to-day affairs and dealing with people. This includes such things as trade, partnership laws, and Islamic finance that we are today discussing. Unlike ibadat, a general principle that applies to muamalat is that everything is allowed except for what has been prohibited. So, for example, we often see people do different things differently, whether it's a managing organization, managing people, putting the structure around, whether it's a government or organizations, or the way they do business. And in general, all of these things are permissible unless there is some sort of a prohibition specifically that does not allow that arrangement, or it goes against the aim of the Sharia. Prophet ﷺ said, what is lawful is clear and what is unlawful is clear, and between them are doubtful matters which many people do not know. Most Muslims are aware of what is clearly lawful and what is clearly unlawful. However, there are gray areas that are not known to most Muslims. Such matters are to be addressed by the people of knowledge for clarity. Often when we talk about Islamic finance and business arrangement, this is probably one of those areas where there is lots of different opinions and everybody is very quick to pass certain judgment. In these sorts of areas, we have to understand that, as with all other muamalat, we have a general rule, which is that every arrangement by default is allowed unless it's specifically prohibited or goes against some of the aims of the Sharia. And because these are life topics, very important topics, we hear always lots of different opinions. So I hope that this course will help us to understand some of these opinions, what is the basis of these opinions, and how we should go about maybe understanding some of the key elements of these contracts in order to understand and have informed judgment.